Okay, let's talk stretching today. And in a moment, I'm going to take you through a stretching routine. But before we do that, I wanted to totally geek out on the stretching research. In 2021, a big study was done. It was what we call a systematic review and a meta-analysis, which is basically saying that they looked at all the research that was done on stretching and exercise and tried to summarize it and come up with using statistics, come up with a conclusion. So they're trying to figure out, did stretching help in terms of post-exercise muscle recovery? And also, did stretching help reduce what we call DOMS, or delayed onset muscle soreness, which is a large way of saying your muscles are sore after working out. So they were looking at those two endpoints. And what they found was that stretching was no better than sitting on the couch or going for a walk or just spinning on a bike when it came to improving muscle recovery, and it was no better in terms of trying to decrease muscle soreness. So that might be some good news for some of you, because I think a lot of you feel compelled to have to do some stretching immediately after exercise, and you're totally off the hook. And just so you know, these research results were looking at both immediately after exercise and also the next day. So you don't have to stretch if you don't want immediately after your workout, and you don't even have to stretch the next day if you're feeling a little sore. That being said, it feels good. There's no harm in doing it. I do it all the time. So follow me, we'll go through some stretches, and it feels good. But again, if you don't want to do it, then you're in luck.
All right, let's go through this routine. And people always ask me, how long should I be holding the stretch? About 30 seconds is a good rule of thumb. It takes about that amount of time for your nervous system to kind of relax and let you get into the stretch. Repeat it about 2 or 3 times each body part. I'm going to fast forward through all of this because it'll take a really long time if you watch me hold that long. So if you have any questions on anything, just shoot me a message. Let's get going. Okay, first things first, you can do this standing or sitting. We're going to stretch out the arm. So we're going to do the tricep, or the back of the upper arm first. Arm goes up, bend, take your other hand over that elbow and pull back and a little diagonally. Ah. Okay, next stretch is for the back of the shoulders and that upper back. Take your arm, thumb up. Arm comes across your body. Take your other arm and give that a little gentle pull. Okay, here's a really nice one for the pecs. Arm on a corner or a doorway, 90 degrees at the elbow, 90 degrees at the shoulder. Take a little step forward and rotate a little bit away from your arm. You're leaning forward and away at a little bit of a diagonal. You're going to feel a really nice stretch across the front of that chest. Okay, for the biceps, find a corner. Put your thumb facing down on the edge of the corner. Arm out straight. The elbow has to be perfectly straight for this. And again, take another little step forward and turn away, kind of like you did in that pec stretch. I feel that all the way down the front of the arm. All right, we're going to stretch out the front of our thighs, or the quads, which I'm sure everyone who's a skier is familiar with. If you're flexible enough, grab your shoelaces, bring your heel towards your bum, and you're just going to stand really tall and try not to fall over. This is what it looks like from the side. Oh, Lord. Let's try that again. All right, your thigh should be in line with your other thigh and not too far ahead of it. So if you're one of those people who really struggle, you're like, you can't even grab the back of your shoe to even do the stretch, I'm going to show you a nice stretch for your quads at the end. All right, next, let's stretch out the back of those thighs or those hamstrings. I like doing these 2 different ways because they get at that muscle just a little differently. So first one, start with your knee straight, foot up on a stool or a step. Keep the back really straight. You're hinging forward at your hip, almost like you're keeping that chest really high as you come forward. You're going to feel a nice stretch in the back of the leg. Repeat that with a little bend in the knee. So keep that little slight bend, and same thing applies. Back stays very straight. Lean forward without rounding that back. And you might feel that in a little different spot in that hamstring. Okay, let's not forget those inner thighs. Stand really wide. We're going to bend one knee. We're going to keep the leg that we're stretching really straight. So you're going to lunge over to the side, and you want to feel that nice stretch in that inner thigh. You can also lean forward a little bit into this, and that varies the stretch a little bit. And here's a fun fact for you. Most people are a little bit tighter on their right inner thigh than they are on that left inner thigh. So test it out. Let me know if you're one of those people. Moving on to the calf muscle. Stand with one leg bent forward. The leg that we're stretching is the one that's out back. So heels down on the ground, knees straight, toes are going forward in what I call 12 o'clock. And I don't want to see any little 1 o'clock variations here. 12 o'clock means straight ahead, which is going to feel a little awkward for some of you, but keep that knee straight, that heel down, lean forward till you feel a nice stretch in your calf. And like the hamstrings, this has 2 variations. Keep this set up the exact same. Bend that back knee just slightly, keep that heel down, and lean forward until you feel a stretch a little bit lower into the calf. That's down into your soleus muscle. That's a good one for skiers. Let's get down on the floor to stretch out some of those glute muscles. One leg straight, other leg crosses over, loop around with your opposite arm, sit up really tall, turn away as you're pulling that knee across into your opposite shoulder. You can stare out the window and ponder life. Another great glute exercise, lay down on the ground with your knees bent, cross one ankle over your other knee, take your same hand, push the knee away until you feel a little stretch in your bum. If you don't feel it at that level, lift both feet up off the ground, and you can bring that knee and foot a little bit closer in towards your chest. So this next one is one of my favorites because you get a lot of bang for your buck. You're going to be stretching out the sides of your hips, your back. Some people will feel it all the way down to their knee. So again, lie down, knees bent. You're going to cross one leg over the other, and I want your thighs crossed, not like an ankle cross. So thighs crossed. So in this case, I'm crossing my left thigh over my right, and then we're going to let both knees fall to one side. In this case, left knee goes over right, and we're letting them fall towards that right side. Hands go out to the side with the palms up. Oh, just relax into this stretch. This feels divine. A little back stretch always feels good. Round up your back like an angry cat. Come on down into child's pose. Walk those hands forward. From this position, you can even reach a little bit over to the side and walk them over to the other side. Here's the bonus content for that quad stretch for my friends who have really tight quads. And you know who you are because you were the people who tried the standing quad stretch and got the worst hamstring cramp of your life. So if that's you, go find a Thule strap, or if you have one of these yoga stretch straps, that's even better. Don't use one of those exercise resistance bands. That's just gonna stretch. We want something that's solid. All right, somehow, some way, you're going to loop this band, this strap, around your ankle. And now for the really graceful part, you're gonna lie down and roll over. Oh. All right, once you've made it onto your belly, which is a feat in itself, grab that strap, pull it up and over your shoulder, and just relax. You're just trying to take up the slack in that band and pull until you feel a good stretch in the front of your thigh. And that's it.